Like, I'm all about getting that bread. I am. I really am.
What? Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny listening back to this now.
Nudes and bodies and same shit where we're being put into... Okay. I'm gonna stop.
It's okay.
It's unbelievable. But no criticism of that, of course. Nothing. Not a single word of criticism for that. Unbelievable, man. These people are disgusting.
Bro, are you lost?
Yeah, a little bit.
How
is XQC getting blown out so hard by this random juicer dude? And he's just completely disrespecting the whole thing. Absolutely exposing them for the money-grubbing, dishonest, two-faced pieces of shit they truly are.
Boom! Big butt oil!
Oh, yeah.
Come on. XQC, you little rat. Ingratiate yourself into that side of it, you lose the ability to meaningfully criticize them. That's my biggest problem with it. You know, when you start to get wrapped up in it. I mean, even like as much as XQC is like an outsider somewhat, like he sided more with Trainwrecks over the Twitch aristocracy stuff and the Mizkif cover-up stuff, he still knows what side his bread is buttered. I mean, he was fucking knocking about with Mizkif at the awards, you know? Like, he's friends with some of these people. I get it. You know, it's like, it's fine. Of course, you don't want to, like, go super hard on your friends all the time. But yeah, I mean, I think he's changed his position on it now. But there was a debate he had where he was defending the Fansly stuff initially. And eventually he relented. And in these chat messages here, he ended up saying, like, yeah, the Fansly stuff is shit. I'm going to keep it a stack. After looking at some data and shit, it looks like my take was shit about the Fansly thing. It's not used like Patreon at all. It's just an alt account for OnlyFans. What the fuck? Yep. Bro, Juiced recorded and posted normal shit. It's why I thought it was mostly just paywalled normal content. For those of you that don't know, I don't know if there's much value in watching it now. But for those of you that don't know, XQC had a debate. He saw the Fansly stuff. I don't think he was particularly critical of it. And then someone came on, I think a viewer came on and tried to debate him on it. And I think even XQC's chat was saying that it was like basically porno. But XQC was kind of resistant to it. XQC was kind of resistant to it. And now it looks like he's changed his mind. But yeah, I mean, the problem with the Fansly stuff was that I saw something on Twitter about this at the time, but within 3 or 4 clicks, without any age verification, you could go from your Twitch account to Fansly and be looking at pornographic material. I mean, like, for all the people bleating about watching porn on Kick, the fact that you can go from Twitch to Fansly looking at pornographic material in like a few clicks, without verifying your age is crazy. And this was being promoted by the award show. This is being promoted by the Streamer Awards. I don't know if there's a video of the debate that we can watch, or maybe XQC's original take, but this has spun off into like more drama basically.
Isn't it crazy that like people in the industry on Twitch will cry about the exploitation of women and how fucked up all the pornography is that they do it, and then their boyfriend will go and take a sponsor from Fansly like, here's some pussy, motherfucker, check it out, baby. You know what I mean?
Bro.
True.
Oh my God.
It's pretty wild, dude. Isn't it crazy that like people in the industry on Twitch will cry about the exploitation of women and how fucked up all the pornography
Why is he playing it again?
They do it, and then their boyfriend will go and take a sponsor from Fansly like, here's some pussy, mother.
Okay, I think it's about consent, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It's not defending your friends, bro. I think it's about consent, but I'm not sure though. I don't know. I think it's like if you want that or not. If you put, wait, what?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
X got the call. Guys,
thanks for the 420. Obviously, XQC has changed his mind on this as per the chat messages, but you know, we're kind of catching up. So we're going to go back and we're going to listen. By the way, LSF have been playing silly buggers again, so we're going to have a little look at that in a sec too. Let's just say there's a certain deleted post which doesn't really make sense, but we'll get to that later.
Guys, if I do normal human things and they get like hypersexualized and I don't want that, and there's what people want, there's what people do.
Hey XQC, remember playing with a Reinhardt player named Unix in Overwatch 1?
That's different than if I sell things that are meant to be sexual.
Wait, what's this?
Just because some female streamers do things really sets other female streamers up for bullshit. And it fucking pisses me off. Like, I'm all about getting that bread. I am. I really am.
What?
I'm like, yes, queen, do the hot tub stream, but please don't do it on Twitch. Because it makes my life miserable. Because then I have people coming from your chat where they see your hot tits covered in bubbles to my chat asking to see mine. But we don't do that here. It's like so frustrating.
God, these streamers' principles are like made of eggshells. I swear to God. That was in 2021. And then she's taking a fucking Fansly sponsorship for the Streamer Awards.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
QT is retarded.
Honestly,
at 11.
honestly, these streamers are full of shit, man. It's unreal. Yeah, I bet she changed her mind, didn't she? That's probably what happened, right? She changed her mind on it. Just as Fansly came along and said, we're going to pay you a bag to promote the Streamer Awards. Jesus fucking Christ, man. It's unreal how unprincipled these people are. And it just falls apart as soon as there's a whiff of fucking money involved.
That's completely different. I changed. You're just being fucking stupid. What do you mean defending anybody? You're just being dumb. Guys, this is like...
The title is misleading.
This is like the basis of consent. Like, what is wrong with you, man? Bro. I changed, I switched up. Bro, if some girl is just...
Listen, I don't think the XQC, I think... My guess is XQC struggles between being friends with some of these people and not wanting to go super hard on his friends all the time, even though they do fucked up, inconsistent shit constantly, okay? And then wanting to stay true to his chat and give the true takes, right? I honestly think that is what's happening with XQC. I don't think XQC is like a bad person. I don't think he's trying to obfuscate what people are doing purposefully. I just think he struggles with the fact that he's friends with some of these people and he doesn't want to constantly be going in at them. But clearly, he knows it's fucked because within a fucking day, he's pivoted on his position.
Money off depressed people?
Thank you for the 420.
We would ask you to change your mind.
He's pivoted on it already because he knows it's fucked and he knows it's wrong. But he just obviously, well, my guess is he finds it difficult to call his friends out sometimes, which I can't understand.
Just walking around normally with normal pants or whatever. If somebody like makes some weird like fantasy porn ass zoom in and sexualized content piece from like the normal clothed pants that we're not meant to. That I mean, this like, part's I agree with. That's just kind of cringe. Like that's mega cringe. They just didn't.
I think that is fairly reasonable because yeah, obviously, just because you might put a sexy pic doesn't mean that you want a deep fake of you getting blacked, right? That's pretty reasonable. But obviously, it's the stuff about the Fansly that I've got an issue with. But what this person was saying here, what Cora was saying here, is just correct. Cora is bang on the money here. Because, you know, I think that, you know, qtcinderella saying what she said previously in regards to the streamer hot tub stuff, to then take a sponsorship from Fansly, which supports and promotes the idea of streamer engaging in sexualized content to lead on Fansly. That is definitely an inconsistent and a problem.
Consent to being used essentially like that. That's how it is. That's compared to selling sexualized pictures of themselves. If you want this piece of content to be sexualized, because it's meant to be, then you get the consent. Otherwise, you don't. Like, consent is important here, man. When will you guys understand this? I don't understand it. Like, what? I don't get it. Well, give me an argument. Your answer. I'm gonna give you on
also, he's focusing on the wrong thing. Like, Yes, of course, there's a difference, but that's not really what this is about. I don't think this person is talking about... I think this is more of a criticism of QT's previous position to now taking the sponsorship from Fansly. I think is what is being criticised more so than this idea of streamers complaining about being sexualized when they get deepfaked.
Alright, so you're a 61 sub. I'm gonna give you on guest star. If you don't accept to get on, you're permanently banned.
Ooh. Discord or guest star or banned?
You just got invited.
Okay, we got the QT defenders coming in, okay? Because, okay, are you fucking dumb? Do you think that a Fansly creator that's got a Fansly account is sat there on Twitch all prim and proper, dressed completely covered up, not doing anything sexual? You're fucking delusional. You're delusional, okay? Fansly acts as an incentive for streamers to behave sexually on stream because they'll behave sexually on Twitch in order to funnel people to look at their Fansly stuff. And on top of that as well, there's other issues with the Fansly thing too, like the fact that they've got this big issue with watching porn on Kick, but then you can go from your Twitch account to Fansly looking at porn off of that promotion within 3 or 4 clicks.
You say have an echo chamber? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Then I will allow
the streamer wasn't 18 plus
to come debate me on this. Then it's good. Oh, wait, come on. How am I bullying viewers? Guys, I am the one that will get bullied if I'm wrong. Yes, I'm wrong about this. Fair enough. I'm wrong. Then come bully me. Come bully me then. I'm UWG.
Okay, what's this? You're feeding me more clips.
What do YouTube people say? Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Adeb the Best. Subscribe now, please. I'm begging you.
You know, like, imagine if I were to go on stream and, like, take a banana and shove the whole thing in my mouth at one time. And I said, that's just how I eat bananas. Like, imagine looking at me and being like, oh, well, you know, like, like that kind of thing. If you're going to make an excuse for that and say that the reason that you're doing that is because that's just how I eat bananas, I have a problem with that. And then it leads to people coming in my chat saying, you're lying on that patio furniture fully clothed in a t-shirt and sweats because you're being shameless.
Yeah, that is annoying when they're lying. If you're bringing up that point, yes, I 100% agree. If they're genuinely lying about their intent,
and I think that's where my only problem is, because I've thought about this 100 times. Mia Malkova, I have so much respect for. Sasha Grey, I have so much respect for. Like, when I look at their platforms, they are sex workers, they are stars, and they are completely honest about the whole thing. They're like, I'm in the adult entertainment industry, right? I don't fucking care. Great. But if you're gonna come to Twitch and then say I'm doing this because this is what I want to wear, this is what I wear all the time, I'm the most comfortable in this, it's like, you're affecting me then, you know? You're causing people to look at me and say, oh, she's do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm
Just
saying?
be honest. I'm feeling good.
This was in the midst of the Twitch hot tub stuff. Not too parasocial, you really are. That's crazy. That's crazy to think that these people were being super critical of the hot tub meta back then. That's wild. Good find. Nice. This is going to be a great YouTube segment.
To say that. Most of the time, this also circles back to a society issue. In America, things have been so conservative to where they only want you to be a fucking whore for them. But if you're just a fucking whore, then you're a fucking whore, and that's disgusting.
Someone give Not Too Parasocial a sub.
Fucking whore in private, then it's okay. And that's not and that's where things are changing, and that's why OnlyFans is, in all honesty, a good thing overall.
It's funny, Maya, because I think hearing you put that to words, I think that's
okay. I hate this take of like, oh, they changed their position on it. Yeah, when it's beneficial optically and financially to do so, yes, they changed their position on it. This is such, I mean, I'm not having a go at you. Maybe you were just trying to honestly say that, but there is this cope that people do of, oh, well, they've changed the position. Yeah, because it's beneficial for them to change their position. That's why they've changed it. It's not because they've genuinely thought about it and have come to like new understanding. It's because it's beneficial for them to do so.
That's my problem too. I've always had a moral compass complex.
Yeah, because I seriously, I don't give a shit about girls that are on OnlyFans off of Twitch. Mrs. Sister, love her, right? Like, the shit that she does, I don't fucking care. Like, she is so honest about it, and she loves it. She's like,
it doesn't seep into the shit that we're doing, where they're expecting people on this website to do the same thing.
I think Maya just said it with more eloquence, but Michaela, I think it's important for you to acknowledge that that is what Milena was trying to say. Like, she wasn't trying to be... I think there was just... Like, Michaela... I mean, Maya sat here and thought about how to articulate that, and Milena was just talking casually and was, you know, hoping not to be dived into or attacked.
I'm sorry for calling you stupid, but that was fucking dumb. But you're not stupid.
Where Michaela's pissing us off is her assumptions. Michaela makes a lot of assumptions that are very low IQ.
Yeah, but like what she does is like she goes straight for the throat when she thinks she hears something that clicks in her head when she just assumes something.
You never said a single time in this entire conversation that it was about women lying about their content.
Wait. Wouldn't most people, normal people, switch their views in a heartbeat if it's beneficial to them?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
That's bad, though.
An anonymous user gifted a
That's
tier
bad.
1 sub to QT
And I don't even know if that's
Cinderella.
true. Thank you for the gifted sub to qtcinderella. I don't even know if that's true. Principles are supposed to sometimes cause you pain or cause you issues, right? If you just switch your principles when it's convenient, then they're not really it's not really a true principle, is it? I think there's this... People think, oh, everyone's got a price. And that's true to a certain degree, right? But you would need to construct, in some cases, a pretty insane hypothetical to get someone to bite the bullet on, like, they do something very immoral for money, right? Like, if you said to someone, I'll give you $1 billion if you murder this child, right? In principle, you might think of that and you might think yes. Or you might think, as long as no one knows I do it or something like that. But in real life reality... right? If that situation was to occur, the vast majority of people are not going to be able to pull the trigger on that, right? Or you need to create a hypothetical where the concept of you killing the child is so far removed from your mind, like you press a button and you don't even know it's happened, right? Something like that, yeah? Which child, where does he live? What proof do you need? So I feel like there's this conception of like, oh, well, people will do anything given the right price. But then you also need to include things in there that strip the reality of that decision from their action too, because otherwise they're not going to want to do it. So I just think that, you know, and also in this case, we're talking about wealthy streamers. We're talking about wealthy streamers that have already got a lot of money that are you know, reneging on what their principles are in order to benefit themselves. You know, even like having a Fansly thing is fine in and of itself. It's kind of like Maya said, it's off the platform. But when you start to get promotions from these companies and you intrinsically link it to your show in this way, to the point where you're promoting porno streamers, and you can get from Twitch to Fansly in a few clicks as a kid, yeah, you are really starting to fucking go against what your purported principles are in that case.
Well, that is your problem. If you are going to make the basis of this entire conversation about that, then say, just like Maya did, in 2 minutes, hi, this is why I have a problem with women on here. Okay, let me reword that. You have a problem with the women that lie about what they're selling on here. And you could have just said that. We didn't have to talk about an hour and a half of this shit. You could have literally just said, I do not like women on this platform who lie about selling their body for money.
Okay, it's kind of a hard thing to articulate.
Yeah,
and,
she
it took me a
nuanced
really
it,
long time to think about it because
you
to be completely honest,
you think the subject started if I would have said, hey, I don't like you advertising your titties on the same platform that we're doing. We've been slowly going into the subject because we don't want to step on people's toes because we don't want to get banned.
I think another reason why
Maya just said it in a non-bannable way. How's that bannable?
But like I really...
It took her like an hour and a half to warm up.
God, it's so funny. I mean, obviously at the time, Adept was like much more in the good books because of her positive relationship with XQC. Maya and QT are like, what are they like? Oh fuck, I can't think of it. They're like the heads of the house. You know, they're like the heads of the house of the Twitch aristocracy. The queen makers. They're the queen makers. Did this person get kicked off? Did this person get kicked off the podcast? What's the law here? I don't know anything about this podcast.
A long time to articulate that, and I think that the reason Milena came across that way is like the reason that we all have a problem with women on Twitch is that Twitch doesn't allow sexualized content. So you kind of have to lie about the reason that you're doing it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I think that's probably kind of where Milena is coming from, is like she has a problem with like the women that are doing that on Twitch because they have to make it
Fair play.
seem like that's not. You can't plug your OnlyFans on Twitch, right?
It's dishonest.
But they do anyway.
You can't plug your OnlyFans on Twitch. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny listening back to this now.
I think that there has been a healthy amount of checks and balances here in the words that we've been using, the way we've been talking. I don't think that anyone should walk away from this badly. And I think that everyone has made a point here or there to point out everyone else's kind of like either
well done finding this
or misuse of a word or so on and so forth.
It is such a fucked up, nuanced situation. That's all. There's always going to be a
I am just trying to make sure that both sides like have an argument here.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good job of that.
What I do in my head sometimes, let me just explain this. And I feel like Michaela functions in the same way. So Nick, let's say I hear Nick and Greek talk about something, right? They're talking about a subject. I will, in my head, twist it into something that I think it is, assume that is what they meant, and I will go straight for Nick's throat because I made up a scenario in my head that I believed wasn't actually true. And it happens more often than I think, and I feel like Michaela does kind of the same thing where she hears one thing and she thinks I mean another thing. I'm going to say, hi, in the way that Michaela wanted me to say it. My name is Milena. I stream on Twitch with my boyfriend. I am not a fan of people advertising for their OnlyFans on the same website that we are streaming on because it is making people assume that we do the same thing. It is seeping into the same business that we're streaming in. And be honest about what you're doing. And I am, again, shit at articulating my thoughts because I have to translate them in my head first. Fordi jeg er norsk, jeg er ikke engelsk. Jeg tenker på norsk, jeg må oversette alt jeg sier til engelsk.
This is crazy, man.
Herregud. Jeg klarer ikke å si det engang. Sorry.
No, I think
some people may have resonated there.
I think it's great. I just think it's been a good discussion all around. I think it's actually great, Michaela, for you challenging us. I believe you were
you
right.
guys asked me to talk.
You called us out.
Whoever this, I don't know much about this person. They are very real to me. They are like straight down the line, straight shooter. You know, they're telling it like it is. Even back then, they're saying this stuff, right? Even back then, when it's not as popular to do so.
Obviously, there is a massive difference between OnlyFans and fans.
Oh, thank you for the 420. That's, yeah, Tyler One's girlfriend. She's been super vindicated as well. She, like, looking back now, this, you just are looking at it and you're thinking, yeah, she is the only fucking real person here.
And the thing that, like, triggers me is that you have the audacity to call me stupid. It's like, hey, I'm the dumbass, right? How the fuck could you not put this down within 10 minutes of speaking? I'm the person that usually goes on for an hour. Why the fuck, if you guys are so smart, right? And I'm the dumbass here. Why couldn't this be put into a sentence or put so blatantly, obviously, in 10 minutes?
This was streamed back in, well, around mid-2021. It says 7th of May it was uploaded, so somewhere around then. So this was obviously at the height of the hot tub meta, when the popular thing to do was obviously to call out as a woman, if you wanted to criticize the hot tub stuff, the way that you did it is you said, it makes me feel like I've got to be sexualized too. That is how you did it as a woman back then. But now, obviously, with the fact that you've got this Fansly promotion in the Streamer Awards, it completely demolishes all of the things that these people were saying back then. So looking back at it now, it just shows you how quickly these people will pivot on their principles when there's a paycheck at the end of it.
No, Milena, like, for example, and then
unbelievable.
Left field takes. Like, yes, I want to genuinely understand. I want to understand why
it's dangerous to make those assumptions and have people align with those assumptions when none of us said that wrong.
Shameless.
You were trying to put the words "you hate sex workers" in my mouth, and you were like, "Yes, you hate sex workers, right?" And I just tried to explain to you over and over, no, I don't hate sex workers, but you were trying to put it back into my mouth. And that is why we've been on the same subject for so long, because I've had to keep explaining myself. And again, I am so sorry for calling you stupid. I know you're having a shitty day, and you probably wouldn't even prefer to be here right now, but I am happy that you're here.
Definitely not. But it's fine.
Okay, no big deal. Let's wrap it up. Let's end it there. I don't think it's healthy for this conversation to be continued. Adept.
Shut it down.
I think.
Shut it down.
I think that we stepped in when Milena called you stupid. I think it was wrong of her to do that. I think that the assumptions are unnecessary. I think that
care.
Milena did have some hypocrisy in her statements, and I think all those things were addressed. And like I said, there was a healthy amount of checks and balances. And if anyone is leaving this with hard feelings, I think it'll be a maturity issue, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that as well. But
wait, what do you mean hypocrisy? You think I'm a hypocrite?
No, we all said hypocritical things
there were
a little
issues
bit
within your statement about how they could be seen as hypocritical, and why it might be a time to reflect and think about how you present those ideas.
Reflect on what?
Either of you are hypocritical. I actually think you were both super consistent. I think you're both just really strong, like, not to be negative, but kind of crass women. Like, you just say how you feel, and I think that offended both of you. I think that's it. I don't think that either of you are
not
hypocrites.
using hypocrite as an insult either. That is not an insult. It's not an attack.
I think it's hypocritical of me to be like, I support OnlyFans, and then also to be offended when people ask about mine. I think that's interesting, you know.
I think this entire conversation, even taking out sex workers, I think this entire conversation is fucking stupid, because at the end of the day, we're all selling content in some way that other people will or will not agree with.
Not if I'm being sexually harassed because of it.
I don't agree with sexual harassment, but at the end of the day, we're always...
Where's the fans?
Everyone is getting content or creating content in different ways, and those people might not agree, or they might disagree. Like, I can't even explain it, because you're right, I'm fucking dumb. But the moral that I'm trying to say here is
you're not dumb.
You're selling... we're all selling content in different fucking ways. Everyone has a different hustle, which is why this annoyed me.
I think we're all on like the same.
We are on the same. All on the same
page. Like, we respect the hustle if you're honest about what the hustle is, and if you're not, then fuck that. And that makes us like that brings people to our stream that harass us and make us look bad. Like,
no, Red Penny, I've got it. Listen, I've seen the. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. Okay, there's a narrative I've got in my head. We're telling a story right now. And we've got sidetracked a bit. I'm talking about the original Fansly advert. Who's got the original Fansly advert?
I think that's it. I think we all kind of get it. I don't know.
I feel like I was the only one blatantly just straightforward enough to say I don't like it seeping into our business, and it made Michaela think that I don't like sex workers, and that is not the truth. I just don't like it being... I
tell you what, if all these people are so mad about it seeping into their business, I mean, obviously some people haven't got a leg to stand on because they're directly fucking making it happen by taking the promotion in the first place. Did this person criticize QT for the Fansly promo? I mean, if she did, fair play, but I'd like to see that clip. I'd love to see the clip of Milena criticizing QT for taking a Fansly promotion on the Streamer Awards. If she's genuinely concerned about this sexualization stuff seeping into the industry and seeping into her work.
In the same business that we're doing, where it's being advertised to another platform, where there's nudes and bodies and same shit, where we're being and that is seeping into our business, and it made Michaela think that I don't like sex workers, and that is not the truth. I just don't like it being in the same business that we're doing, where it's being advertised to another platform, where there's nudes and bodies and same shit, where we're being put in... Okay. I'm gonna stop.
It's okay.
That's unbelievable. Myself for like 40 minutes.
That's unreal. That's exactly what qtcinderella did. That is exactly what qtcinderella did. But no criticism of that, of course. Nothing. Not a single word of criticism for that. Unbelievable, man. These people are fucking disgusting.
Like, I'm just over it. I don't care. I get the point now. I get what you're saying.
Okay. I'm glad you get the point. Slowly also going to change.
Someone said grand finale Drake.
It is also going to change when it comes to...
Anyway,
but let's just wrap it up. We're good here. Thank you guys all for coming up.
Thank you guys. Good conversation regardless.
Great conversation whether you feel like it right now or not. Trust me, these things progress everyone in a healthy way.
This is a massive conversation, chat. Like, if you feel like you're left like a little bit not, closed up, that's because it will never be a years and years before you feel like this is a settled conversation. It's massive.
That is unbelievable, man. It's funny. It is funny how quickly these people's principles change. Great find, by the way. I do want to watch the XQC debate for a bit because, like I say, I think XQC, my view on it, is probably stuck, like I said earlier, stuck between a rock and a hard place. He knows it's wrong. I'm sure he knows how bad the fancy stuff is. And I think it comes up in this debate, right? I'm correct in that. It comes up in this debate. Here we go. Here we go.
Bro, you have a stream delay for no reason when I'm using the fucking app itself. How are you so scuffed? Okay, listen.
Oh, it's working. It's working. Okay, good.
Well, no shit. Okay. Yo.
My bad.
Could this not have been edited out? I mean, what the fuck is this?
It's a simple concept. Okay. There is a difference. There is a big distinction between somebody being sexualized without their consent, and when content that they make is not meant to be sexualized, is sexualized against their will, right? And them having OnlyFans or Fansly or Fanhouse, right? And posting sexual content to be consumed in a sexual way. There's a difference between the two things.
Okay. So, but I don't think that's what chat was arguing about.
I think
because I saw most.
No. This guy's right. That isn't the argument, right? I think that most people are going to agree that if you come onto stream and you've got like a certain outfit, even if it's like maybe a bit of a low cut top or something, right? That doesn't mean that you're justified in going to the extremity of the sexualization of that person, right? Now, obviously, people are going to jerk off to what they're going to jerk off to. You can't really stop the privacy in their own home of people doing that. But just because someone appears on stream in a low-cut top doesn't mean that you can go and make deep fakes of them getting blacked and then spread them, right? But I think everyone is going to agree with that, right? I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that concept. This guy's right. I think XQC is arguing the easy argument when actually what's more interesting is to dig into the Fansly promotion and some of the other contradictions that some of these like female streamers are perpetuating.
Most of chat, they were arguing, saying that it's more hypocritical. Do you understand? It's more hypocritical.
The clip describes exactly what I just said, and 3/4 never in the chat was against me on that, right? That's what the debate started. This right here, the clip states the opposite of what you said. He mixes up consent and not consent, pretty much. It shows against me.
Okay. I think the clip was titled wrong. I think chat is still arguing with the whole old point of that's been for the last week. That's been going on.
Huh?
What do you mean? Huh?
What, bro? What have you been watching? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Dude, the point.
Bro, are you lost?
Yeah, a little bit.
How's the bigger?
God, this must be, I tell you what, this young lad, it must be quite daunting to go on to like, what, 60, 70,000 viewer stream and trying to argue. So fair play to this lad for getting on and doing it. I mean, Jesus.
Okay, you don't even know what we're talking about.
Yes, X. Okay, listen.
Okay, then you give me the other point then. You give me whatever point you were talking about then. Whatever else.
Cole made a dumb fuck argument. But the point is, it's easy to argue the easy position, isn't it? And that's what XQC is doing when I think that chat and others are not necessarily wanting to debate about the sexualization aspect of like, if you don't present sexualized content, you shouldn't be sexual. Like, that's a perfectly reasonable position. It's about the Fansly stuff and the other contradictions that a lot of people in the Twitch aristocracy perpetuate when it comes to this stuff. And the fact we've just watched a video where women have argued explicitly against the ever closer inclusion of content like OnlyFans with Twitch streams and how it negatively impacts them. For qtcinderella to then take a Fansly sponsorship and integrate it even more closely to the point where you can integrate Twitch to Fansly and in 3 clicks be looking at pornographic content, right? That is what the argument is actually about and what's interesting in this. And that's clearly what this guy's talking about. But what people are doing, I mean, it's seemingly at this point, XQC is kind of going along the lines of arguing more so about the consent thing. But that isn't really up for debate. That's not the thing that's interested in being discussed.
I think chat is still arguing.
Don't hide behind chat. Do not hide behind chat. Don't fucking do that.
No. I'm not. Just because there's a difference between the two, they are still both wrong to promote. That is what chat's trying to say. Yes, there's a difference, but there's still both. Twitch is full of children, so why are they promoting a site that is mostly porn-based? That's what. So yes, both are wrong, but what chat is trying to say is that they're still promoting porn to children.
Okay, so this is an argument that is pushed across the board, across a lot of topics, right? And I'm going to answer it.
Bear in mind as well, sorry to be clear, we looked at the chat message earlier. XQC has already changed his position on this, and I think he maybe didn't realize how pornographic Fansly was, which whether or not he believed, I don't know. I mean, I don't think XQC would be honest about that. He probably didn't know, but at this point, he doesn't know. So obviously, this guy
in argumentative dialogue, a low-hanging fruit. It's something that's very easy to go towards and get 3 points and look like you're the one that's virtuous and right about, right? So where do you draw the line, right? Where
they're both wrong.
Okay, no, wait. Where do you draw the line, right? When somebody's promoted to children or not? Where do you draw the line?
Wait, repeat that again?
Where do you draw the line when something's promoted to children or intended to promote to children and not? When does it start, when does it end? Because as far as I'm concerned, right? People have streams that are 18 plus, right?
Okay.
They use platforms that are 18 plus, and to access the content, it's 18 plus, right? So there's like like an age to it, right? So 18 plus is like the safeguard in that way. If you use,
but the problem with the fans, I mean, I don't know if this guy's going to bring that up. The problem with the Fansly promotion is that there wasn't an age gate on it. And there was a video on Twitter, if anyone's got the link to it, I'll put it up. There was a video on Twitter that showed that you could connect from Twitch to Fansly using the promotion, and without any age verification, you could be looking at pornographic content within 3 or 4 clicks.
So all the safeguards that are possible for you to use as a creator, right, at your disposal, then how can you say that it's meant for children?
Okay. First.
Wait, no. Now you already need the chat. Chat says the website is 13 plus. Okay, so when you would go back in the days to Blockbuster, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
When you went to Blockbuster as a kid, you'd go to space, and it's family-friendly zone, right? And the zone with like a little drape, and all the porn movies were behind the drape, and all of those were 18 plus, right? The safeguard is 18 plus barrier. You don't go there when you're a fucking child. End of story, right? Now go ahead, say your point.
Okay, so the first thing is I agree with you on the point where, one, it shouldn't be Twitch's responsibility. One, it's the fucking parents' fault. If the kid is stupid, and one, streamer should not be a kid's fucking. You should not be looking up to streamers. That's idiotic. It's the parents' fault. The parents there, then the parent. It's first idiot's fault. But second, I have a question: is Twitch a gaming platform, or is it an entertainment platform? Nope. Is it still a gaming platform?
Not close to being a gaming platform. Not even close.
That was the original idea for Twitch, was the whole gaming thing. And now,
yeah, but they lost that identity like 6 years ago.
Exactly. So one, I think regardless across all boards, even if it says 18 plus, they. When you did your poll, a majority of chatters were children under 18. So why are they promoting?
Wait, Destiny's Mod Forethought looked into that, and apparently Twitch doesn't give Fansly access to the age data on a Twitch account when linking the two. Yeah, and that's bad, isn't it? What I don't understand what point you're trying to make.
They're like liberating cuties.
Bro, my just average age is 20.
I'm talking Ludwig and Cutie's fan base are way younger than yours. And they're still promoting the porn. That is where chat has a problem. I'm not saying 100. So, like my logs when I told you, I will defend chat and I will agree with chat.
Wait. The porn. What's fucking porn?
Oh, them promoting OnlyFans and Fansly. That's porn. That's a literal porn.
Oh. I mean.
Wait.
This year, Kick.com was announced. You know, they actually wanted to sponsor this event, but then they backed out when I told them I wasn't showing any porn.
However, throughout the Streamer Awards, Cutie is promoting a website called Fansly, which is an OnlyFans porn website advertising it to children. The reason why this is bad is that this website does not require you to be 18 plus to create an account and is showing explicit videos to underage children. This web.
No way.
Kick.
Wait, can I? Okay, you get the idea, don't you? Chudception. Well, listen, this was 20 days ago. Guys, I mean, obviously this got downvoted because LSF despise me because I call out their favorite parasocial streamer freaks. But listen, ahead of the curve once again. Ahead of the curve once again. 20 days ago.
I mean, I see that's another kind of like low-hanging fruit. The reality is that I understand these platforms are meant to be used. Tim, these platforms are meant to be used.
That's what I was talking about, and you're getting mad about.
These platforms, I mean, you're partially correct, right? It is low-hanging fruit because that's what the platforms are for. It's how a lot of it is used, right? But does that?
I mean, LSF, I've got a little something on LSF to show you in a sec, which is very intriguing. But we're going to watch this debate first.
People that do use Fansly in a way that's sexual, right? Well, they have all the safeguards. You have to make an account. You have to make an account and verification of whatever the 18 plus, right?
Okay.
You understand that? That?
But I think the thing is, safeguards don't protect shit. One have safeguards than anything. I mean, look at the whole safe thing.
Okay. So what can you do then?
That's a cop-out. I think safeguards are a cop-out. It's like, oh, look, I copped out. I put an 18 plus, so I'm okay. Whatever happens.
So So in this instance, then you could equate this 1-to-1 to going to the owner of Blockbuster or your local fucking back in the days your video movie dealer or whatever, right? And tell them that there are safeguards for 18+ content or porn section.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Broke City, I agree, right? It's complete fucking cope. Like, OnlyFans has got a reputation for a reason, and Fansly is like more or less the same thing, right? You're not going on OnlyFans to interact with your favorite content creator that just posts music content or something like that, right? The vast majority of accounts on places like OnlyFans and Fansly at best are posting lewd content through to straight up porno shit, right? Like this code, I mean, obviously XQC seemingly didn't know, but there is this code of like acting like the people are going on there for anything other than porn. It's complete bullshit. The one account that you know that doesn't do porno stuff doesn't excuse the fucking however many porno accounts that are on there.
Useless and irrelevant, and they're responsible for promoting pornographic material in a place where of all ages people can go into, because the whole building is for whatever plus, right? So their safeguards are bad. How's that any different? Tell me.
Hold on, chat. Let him go. I think the main, so like again, I'm defending chat with it. I think the big problem chat has is now they're normalizing it, which is the big issue. They're taking it there and they're putting it over here, and they're normalizing this Fansly and OnlyFans and it, dude. Like, I'm not calling anyone out. And also, Blockbuster doesn't plaster those type of ads on their window. Blockbuster isn't saying, "Hey, come here, look, we have porn." Like, come to porn. They're plastering movies because they're a movie thing. Like, that was just a small part of it. And Blockbuster's dead. You can't find porn on Netflix anymore. That's the main one. That was old, but this is like now.
This guy's based.
That is really fair argument.
And they ID'd then. Like, you.
How is XQC getting blown out so hard by this random juicer dude? That's fucking wild.
Got ID then. When you would buy a T-rated game, you would have to have your parents there.
But unfortunately, online is a whole different ballgame. I mean, you can go anywhere you want on the internet. You can go to Pornhub when you're whatever age. I mean, I used to go on adult site when I was younger. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what are the safeguards you think would be acceptable? Otherwise, the reality is what you're saying right now is that otherwise, there's no way you should have any adult material on here anywhere because it's accessible.
Yeah. That's it. So no, I agree with you there.
I think it's utopian.
That's why I said I agree with you on the point that it's the parents. It's the parents. Overall, it's at the end of the day ends with the parents, because if you're letting your kid watch, you know, a booba streamer with big melons out that are all oiled up, it's the parents' fault.
Yeah. So,
but they're also normalizing that, promoting these Fanslys and promoting these OnlyFans and getting all these sponsors. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but Twitch needs to draw a line. I think that's another issue, is Twitch does not have clear QoS. It is, they need to draw the line somewhere. Either full send it, let boobies out, let ass out, let all of it fucking spread. Sorry for cursing, spreading it out. But or.
By the way, oh, I understand. Is it LSF are doing the Dr. Disrespect? Basically, LSF are like memeing about posting loads of Dr. Disrespect clips. Is that because it's April Fool's? Is that what's going on?
I think Twitch banned direct link and sponsors of OnlyFans because the site. Yeah. I think the site wide as a whole. I think it was 18 plus. I think it's wide, but Fansly is used as a Patreon, right, for a lot of people. Okay. I think
no,
the
wrong.
They had like their
wrong.
Own thing, with it.
No, this is a cope take. Listen, I know he's changed his mind and whatever. Fine, but you know I'm reacting to it. I've got a. Yeah, the Patreon comparison is insane. Patreon does genuinely have a mix. Also, I don't know if Patreon has got the level of explicitness that like Fansly and OnlyFans does. I think it mainly is like lewds and things like that. And there's a lot of people that just do like normal video content that have a Patreon that's got exclusive stuff on. I think, you know, I don't need to explain this, right? We all know this. We know that Patreon is not comparable to OnlyFans or Fansly. Patreon is often used as just a, you know, a standard platform with which to promote extra content if you're like a YouTuber without any porno and stuff like that.
But it was like non 18 plus content, right? So people say question mark, but they're wrong. A lot of people use Fansly as non 18 plus content. That's it.
No,
it's meant for both. The same way on Twitch, you have sections that are like normal and more normal content and more like 18 plus content / like fucking like pool and whatnot.
Okay. And then another thing on top of that, what a lot of people in chat were saying was she was talking about objectifying women and all that, but those platforms in itself are.
Wait, XQC's game show used Fansly in a Patreon style. I mean, yeah, that probably is true, but I would guess, this is a shot in the dark, that probably was some aspect of Fansly trying to clean its image up, I guess. I don't know. That's a pure guess. I could be totally wrong on that. I need to know more about it, really. Also, the fan... Hang on a minute. Wait. The game show thing, wasn't his game show sponsored by Fansly? Hang on a second. Wasn't there like a sponsorship deal between Fansly and his game show? Well, that's a bit different, isn't it? Okay, I don't want to speak on that without knowing more, but Jesus, man, that sounds like fucking dicey as fuck, man. Oh, Fansly promoting it, and oh, we're doing non-porno stuff with the game show. I mean, whether or not that was the intent, XQC clearly walked away with the perception that Fansly wasn't a fucking porno thing. So that might not have been the explicit intent, but it's led now to him defending Fansly as not being a porno thing, and also defending his, you know, Twitch aristocracy people or whatever.
Like literally making women more property. Like just think.
Well, no, not the platform. Oh, wait, hold on, before you go further, it's the platform that's objectifying. It's the girls that objectify themselves.
Yes. So now think of it this way. From now we go back to the children aspect. Think of how this is going to affect 5 years from now, where you have these 18 like. Think about kids in school now, when all they see is their favorite streamers. Oh, sex sells, sex sells, sex sells. All this stuff. All these girls in high school now, all these dudes, all these.
Yeah. Listen, look. I don't think XQC is like a malicious bad person. I think it's like people like Ludwig and QT, right? They're the people that are playing these games and are, you know, working things to their advantage. You know, they're the true Twitch aristocracy, right? XQC is like the court jester. He's the court jester. Okay, he can mock. He's allowed to mock a little bit. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, he's still not going to like necessarily go super hard on his friends, like, which I understand. I get it, right? But yeah.
Kids, because
Clown
the kids
King.
are dumb, they're going to be looking like, oh, the women are like devalued now. This is I said truth and reality. Think of the hot tub streamers and how all these hot tub streaming is allowed. What happens if a 16-year-old girl does what the big hot tub streams? Are they going to automatically ban it?
Bro,
if it's not sexual, what happens if a 16-year-old does it?
I literally agree with you. This
is on your point. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, because you ventured off the point, right? The point is the practice, not the industry as a whole. It's not even the backpedal. I've always said this. I've always said this. Guys, you need to realize that this is not the point of the argument, and we're straying away. And this looks like a win. It also looks like me I'm backpedaling, but I've always agreed with this. You guys are being dumb as fuck.
No, he's not backpedaling, Chad. He's cooking me. I promise.
You guys are saying like, guys, if we're on a very fine line of
Sarah,
consent talk. Who the fuck is he talking to?
Sorry, I was talking to my girlfriend.
This guy is so based. He's the lack of respect he's showing to be on an XQC stream. He's rustling. He's leaning off to talk to someone else. Like, this dude is probably the first time he's been on a stream this big, and he's just completely disrespecting the whole thing. That's so funny, man.
Anyway, see, the thing is that, fortunately or unfortunately, okay, the way this world works is that girls are allowed to objectify themselves. Sex workers, whether you agree with it or not, they are allowed to want their material to be sexualized and post pictures of them naked to be consumed if they want to, right? That's kind of like, that's what they choose to do. Whether I agree with it or not, they'll do it, and they have the right to, right? But saying that the platform sexualizes them or objectifies them.
Oh my god! I've got to say as well. I think one thing that you've got to say about XQC's chat is it's probably one of the only chats that you're going to find out of streamers that large. Maybe like Trainwrecks as well, you might include or something. But like, look, they're calling him out. PR answers. Like, his chat will actually call him out on shit, which is obviously how this has come about in the first place, because his chat is saying to him, you know, mate, you got it twisted up. This is the reality of what's going on. I think that's pretty good.
Sexualizes them.
Chat win.
Them is just
Juicers win again.
I think it's more common for girls to sexualize themselves and use themselves to in an objectifying way for people to consume, right, at higher rates. I do think there's problems behind that. I think that there's a big society problems behind some of these things, right? But I think that's beside the point. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I can see where
I think yeah. Well, I don't like the argument of pushing things onto children. I think you can see how it's disingenuous a little bit on the argument we call in bad faith. I think it's in bad faith.
Okay. Yeah, no, I 100% see what you mean by there. But once again, going back to it, like, so chat was technically right. Like, that was the whole point. That's what they were pushing. I think you just read it wrong. And then you have the idiots. You got one guy.
Well, not really, because I started getting some. I watched the clip. I said it's about consent, and people say PR answer, LA take, dumb fuck, and I had said nothing else but consent at that point. I started picking people from chat, and those started arguing. And then I picked more people to argue. Now you guys are arguing the points that were being delayed about. And it was our chat, but completely dodging the initial reason why we started this argument in the first place. The argument in the first place was entirely about consent. The only reason why they started was about consent. If you watch the VOD, go back. If you're going to watch, I said, debate me as having a take purely about consent and only about consent.
Okay. So...
But the thing is, but now he's defending the Fansly stuff. Now he's defending the fans, but he's not just talking about consent. He's already he's giving cover inadvertently. I don't think he's like trying to be malicious about it, but he's giving cover to his friends. He's giving cover to his fucking wealthy streamer mates over this fucking bullshit Fansly promotion, which is 100% criticizable because of how fucking inconsistent it is with their purported principles previously.
Yeah. I
Fuck me.
agree there, but if it was that much of a deal, they're still pushing it to children, which is where that shit will... Children are dumb. They don't understand consent in that ways. So that's why that stuff's getting used. Them pushing it...
Oh, we finally got the clip. Okay, here we go.
Okay, well, in my defense, listen, I'm not gonna shit on Lud in my own show. I had generally zero knowledge of
there it is
being a sponsor.
There it is.
Sign anything with Fansly. Know that I
there
ever
it is.
see a singular dollar from Fansly. None of it.
Oh, okay.
Zero.
Let's go to a different angle.
I ever had knowledge of it prior or signed for. Yep. Sorry. That's just I'm not.
But the thing is, what he said there initially, I'm not going to shit on Lud in my own show. That is a through line to explain why he has some of these other takes, because he's got a connection with Ludwig that obviously, and it's understandable, right? If you've got a business relationship with someone, you're not going to want to go and just shit on them all the time because you've got a fucking business relationship with them, right? But that means you're somewhat compromised in talking about these issues because you're going to feel like you cannot fully criticize. The same thing happened with Moist Critical to a far worse degree, I would argue, where Moist Critical has got a business relationship with Ludwig over Moist Esports. So when he was watching the Streamer Awards, when some of this stuff was going on, he was fucking silent. He didn't say a single word about it. And he was even laughing at the Fansly promotion. He was fucking laughing at it. So this is the problem when you start to get ingratiated, into these relationships with these top streamers. You put yourself in a position where you can't really criticize them in the same way. Now, respect to Ludwig in that he's in a position. Not respect to Ludwig. The opposite of that. With XQC, respect to XQC, he at least puts an effort in and his chat holds him to some account, which is good, right? But, when you're someone like Moist Critical, there's none of that. There's none of that pushback that leads you to a position where you're going to start to be critical of this stuff. So, if you're looking to some of these big streamers that have got these connections to offer criticisms of these people, it's just not going to happen in any meaningful way. Thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it.
Nation.
And let's not forget as well, the other controversy that has been fucking... Okay, I obviously covered the... I'll tell you what it is, right? Here's a little schizo shit for you, okay? The Just a Mink shit was perfect for QT. And I think my belief is the reason that QT went so fucking hard over the... Just a Mink stuff is because it provided perfect drama cover to cover up all of the other shit that people were talking about, right? That's my schizo fucking theory for the day, okay? For some reason, we're going hard at fucking Just a Minks and shitting on Just a Minks left, right, and center. Now, Just a Minks definitely did some fucked up shit, but notice how fucking hard QT went on her. It was like insane. And everything became about the Just a Minks stuff. And we suddenly stop. I put that clip of me talking about the Fansly stuff was 20 days ago, and only now is it being reinvigorated a bit. I don't know what instigated XQC talking about it exactly. But yeah, I think that the Just the Mink stuff was used to kind of obfuscate some of the drama that was coming out of the Streamer Awards and some of the valid criticisms. Oh, the Mew Kitty video. Based fucking Mew Kitty once again. Based for bringing this to the forefront, and based for making content you know streamers are going to react to, so they got to talk about it. Based Mew Kitty, and I hope that she manages to get her YouTube stuff sorted out. But yeah, because the other thing, do you remember as well, with all the fucking shit about how bad gambling is, Ludwig did an advert with KFC that not only prominently featured gambling, but promoted the concept of gambling in a fun way. It was like, oh yeah, double down. It was, you know, like, you made a big fucking deal about how bad gambling was, and then you're going to have an advert during the Streamer Awards that not only has gambling featured prominently, but suggests it's a positive thing to do. And people cope and say, oh, but it's KFC, it's only a joke, etc., etc. It doesn't matter. You're still... the principle of the advert is it's good to gamble. Right? That's the fucking core principle of the advert, is that it's good to gamble and it's a joke for the game. It is totally fucking shameless. And these people make a massive deal out of how bad gambling is and of how bad the, you know, back then they were talking about how bad it is for women with people coming onto the platform and doing the OnlyFans stuff. And then they're promoting Fansly and doing an advert that features gambling. It's total fucking bullshit. It's total fucking bullshit. And it just proves how inconsistent and how, you know, two-faced and ridiculous these big streamers are. Anyway, I feel like the guy in 50 Million Merits with a shard of glass to his throat. Before you know it, I'm probably going to get ingratiated into some big streamer organization, and then I'll be doing these rants and it'll be sponsored by, I don't know, some big fucking streamer thing. That's the plan. That's the plan anyway. But yeah, I just think it's fucking cringe that people make such a stink about stuff only to completely renege on their principles when it's financially beneficial to do so.
I'm gonna fuck it.
Oh shit.
Okay, well.
Wait, hang on a minute.
In my defense.
Can I skip this?
In my defense.
Sorry, my bad. I fucked up.
I'm not gonna shit on Lud in my own show. I had generally zero knowledge of Fansly being a sponsor. Nor did I sign anything with Fansly. Nor did I ever see a singular dollar from Fansly. None of it, zero. I ever had knowledge of it prior or signed for. Yep, sorry. That's just, I'm gonna fuck it. If I am lying, I give a verbal consent on the internet right now, on this date, on the 3/27/2023, to out me as a liar and to show a signature of mine and show a contract of mine or show any knowledge whatsoever.
I believe him here.
Prior to the sponsor. Before I got there, and we actually did it. I give consent. I don't give a fuck.
It's also funny that Cutie's old podcast ended over similar stuff because she disagreed with Tyler One's girlfriend a while back. Yeah, we just watched that. We just watched the 10-minute clip of it. Absolutely fucking exposing them for the money-grubbing, dishonest, two-faced pieces of shit they truly are. Unbelievable. We just watched that. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think XQC knew. I think XQC... you know, I don't know. I need to know more about the Fansly connection to the game show thing. But it's just what's interesting is that act of Fansly sponsoring his game show gave XQC the perception that it wasn't a porno thing, which has now well, initially at least, he was arguing for the idea that Fansly isn't a porno thing, and therefore the Streamer Awards thing wasn't that big a deal. Now, I don't want to get too schizo and say that was intentional, but it's just interesting how that's played out. Let's put it that way. I tell you what as well, people were calling me schizo at the time. I'm certain that I was right about the Ludwig OTK statement and him knowing about it ahead of time and him playing with the fucking narrative to suit him and suit his friends. Fansly psyops. Listen, I don't want to get too deep into the conspiracy shit, okay? Anyway, someone asked what the drama is between Moist Critical and Ludwig. It's not really drama as such. It's really simple. It's that because Moist and Ludwig have got a business partnership through Moist Esports, Moist Critical is in a position where he cannot meaningfully criticize the Streamer Awards because QT is obviously Ludwig's partner. So there were moments when it's obvious stuff there that was criticizable, like the Fansly sponsorship, and he was fucking silent when it happened because, you know, So it makes it... And then he released a video where he was like, oh, massive streamer awards drama. I watched it on stream, and he spoke about some bullshit thing that happened that wasn't even that serious.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Ludwig is a reptile bat chest. Cutie is a wretched Jezebel bat chest. Moist Critical is the most overrated content creator alive.
Thank you, Creeman, for the sub. Appreciate it. Anyway, come on, let's get back to this debate, and then I've got another little piece of the puzzle for you, okay?
And plastering it everywhere that long, that's what got it more famous. I didn't hear it from Atrioc. I didn't even know who the fuck Atrioc was. I saw the clip of her on the podcast with Hassan and everyone. That was what really blew it up. I didn't know. I wasn't going to go look at the millisecond thing that Atrioc showed. Like, that was only very few. So, it was when everyone started blowing it up and pushing that drama, and they got the views from it.
So, in a perfect world, I would assume there's a way to deal with this, right? Atrioc, nobody should have said shit about it. Should have been dragged under the rug, and things should have been dealt with behind closed doors. Because everybody going crazy about it, promoted it to insane lengths, right? That further made the problem more out there, publicized it. People, I'm pretty sure 95% of people, 98% of people that had no idea that this content was even out there, and now they knew and were actively looking for it. So this should have been put under the rug. This is called a world. That's in a utopia. In the world, that doesn't happen like that. This in the real world, things don't work like this. It's a very big problem, actually, with a lot of things with the media. Shootings, big problem with that. Same problem. It's the way it's publicized, the way it's displayed, right? Furthers the problem.
It also brings more shooters because they see the fame and they love it.
Yes, it's been studied. It's been studied for decades. It's been proven. Top scientists and psychologists have talked about this. The way that shootings are reported are an insane fucking fuel to the fire. Dog shit. Whatever. Hold on. One more thing.
How do you fix it? Give me a solution. Don't
No.
Give me a solution.
Okay. No. You brought an initial problem. I'll tell you. Okay. National television, they have ads of beer, cigarettes, casinos that are on national television. TVs are playing everywhere. Every TV is playing it. Children are around. Children see that. Yes, they do. They do have ads like that. They do. 100%. So can you say, well, I think these companies are targeting children?
Wait, who has ads like that?
National television. Or alcohol or whatever.
So like, okay, football, NFL, there we go.
Anything, right? It's all out there, right? You can make this an argument that they are pushing these 18+ products on children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But
it's a problem.
But you can't buy those products if you're under 18. They ID.
So how do you make an equivalent of that safeguard in real life to that safeguard online?
By not letting creators push it. By Twitch banning people when they're promoting OnlyFans and Fansly, like these, like the certain, and first off, I'm not against it, like that's what I'm saying. But they need to have a clear line in the TOS instead of these female streamers spamming their links of their websites, and it's literally one click. A 14-year-old kid could click on the link, and now they see boobs, big butt, oil.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that if there's a girl and her name is Pearl, and Pearl, if you Google her, right? She's famous on OnlyFans or whatever, right?
If you Google, see it on Google.
If you Google it, yeah, you should be able to, yeah. Whatever. If you see her OnlyFans, then it's all you need is to click 18+ being my mom, right?
Okay.
Right?
Google has a safeguard in the natural thing. So if I type in like boob, unless my safeguard filters off, it's gonna hide as much as it can.
Oh, but it says 18+ filter is on. We want to turn it off. So you're saying that people that are not 18 cannot click the button?
Oh well, yeah, they can. Well, that's the problem.
No, they can.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So how does Twitch stop that?
So you agree that safeguards are trash?
Yeah, that's what I said at first. Safeguards are cop out.
So there's no solutions.
Well, Twitch can have a solution. They ban it off their platform and say no. If somebody's promoting links directly in their chat, a streamer spamming, this is my link, go click it, and I just click once, and now you have an issue, and then you get distracted for 10 minutes.
I think that people are getting sidetracked on the fact that the safeguards are shit. It is an industry problem.
Wait, oh my god, not the boot. So I don't really have a problem necessarily with like. My issue is the inconsistency and hypocrisy of streamers talking some shit on Kick. Because, I mean, listen, what Aiden Ross did was obviously wrong, and I've criticized it myself. But there's like this criticism of others for doing things that they are, at the very least, very close to doing themselves or supporting, right? That's what the issue is. And it's the same thing again as the gambling thing. Well, they make a big deal out of being against it, you know, because of the popular support. So just look at what happened with the gambling thing on Twitch. They were going on about how gambling needs to be banned. Twitch didn't ban gambling. They just banned gambling from certain unregulated websites or websites that aren't regulated in the US. And they were all celebrating about it, completely obfuscating the fact that all they did was ban gambling from, you know, less well-regulated websites. That's all that Twitch did. That's all that Twitch did. And they were acting like it was a win. That, you know, and then to go on and, like I said, the little big fucking advert at the Stream Awards was wild. Like, it's the inconsistency, it's the lies and the dishonesty about what actually is happening. But yeah. Wait, what's this? Title misleading at the end of the clip. What's this?
We're gonna go one by one. So I'm gonna throw it back. Okay, ready?
Okay,
wait, I'm gonna what?
Do it.
I don't know what that means actually.
Throw it back, XQC, like you said you would.
I will not throw it back. I don't know what. I genuinely don't know what that means.
You don't know what throwing it back is?
No, is it good when you do the booty thing?
Come on, you have to show your ass.
Just do it then.
It's kind of like throwing it back. It's like,
oh my god!
Okay.
It's throwing it back.
Okay.
Making it pop.
There's like a personalized dance. It's kind of nice and chill. It's like good content. It's something you would get on Fansly if you would.
True.
All right.
Very true.
Wait. Hang on a minute. I thought he didn't know. I thought he didn't know. No way. Come on. XQC, you little rat. Why are you making jokes about twerking being on Fansly? And now you're like, I had no idea. I honestly have no clue. Come on. Come on. Give me a break. This makes me lean more towards him running more hard defense for his friends over it just being like, I don't know, man. That's very suspicious to me. No, I don't think he was saying he had no idea. I don't think he was saying he had no idea that Fansly, like, obviously he knew Fansly. The contention is whether he knew that Fansly was doing like OnlyFans style content, right? Honestly, my basic take, and I think that his chat has kind of like pushed him to the point where he's like, okay, I've got to accept reality of what this is. I think he just doesn't want to go super hard. He said it in that clip about he doesn't want to shit on Ludwig, right? I think that probably is a through line for all of his stuff. He doesn't want to shit on his mates. Who does? I've experienced this myself. Who wants to shit on their friends? It just sucks. It's horrible. It's not nice to do, you know? But you can't then deny the reality of what's going on in order to do that. You know, you should just not talk about it. You should just not react to the Moo Kitty stuff and just ignore it. You know, if it's put in your face, and at that point you're not criticizing it, then yeah, you are running cover for your friends, as far as I'm concerned.
It's a problem across the board, right? If there's no solution, then what can you do?
Wait, so now you're saying that safeguards don't work. Weren't you the one saying that there's safeguards for a reason?
No. I'm saying safeguards exist, right? But I'm agree with you. The safeguards, I guess, they don't really work, right? You said they don't really work.
Yeah, no, they don't work.
Sure.
It's just a cop-out.
Well, it's not really a cop-out. It's not really a cop-out. It's just that, well, it's the best you can do.
I mean, you're just not doing it at all. Twitch could, toughen down on it.
Okay. I don't know. It seems that we're going in circles. There's not much,
we found some common.
There's not much to argue. I mean, I'm just kind of upset that this whole decision about consent was the main point, and now you guys made it this promoting Fansly type shit. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, well, that's chat. It's I think chat and you both interpreted it wrong because I came here to defend chat and most of the stuff I saw wasn't defending it against consent.
I'll look at the VOD again. Chat, you guys, just look at the VOD. Nah, it's just kind of annoying. Because if you look at the VOD, the whole thing was like consent and it was an LA take it. So I mean, if things got lost in communication and we had to find a new topic to talk about, I mean, sure, I don't mind, but it's just how it is. You judge me, the motherfucker.
Yeah, so you had the problem with Coyle calling her a hypocrite. But it is sort of hypocritical because family does contribute to the objectifying a woman. Like that's
no,
the whole
they don't contribute. Point. The girls contribute. Stop blaming the fucking platforms. If people want
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The girls are still pushing it. All of them are pushing it. She was pushing Fansley when they're getting objectified because of it.
Then the difference here is consent, whether they want to be sexualized or not.
Nah, this is cop.
Contribute. Stop blaming the fucking platforms. If people want
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The girls are still pushing it. All of them are pushing it. She was pushing Fansley when they're getting objectified because of it.
Then the difference here is consent, whether they want to be sexualized or not.
He's going. This is what I was saying earlier. He's trying to go back to the easy argument about, you know, just because someone has got a low cut top doesn't mean they should be put in a deep fake of being blacked. Like, that isn't up for discussion. That's not what the debate is. It's such a cop out.
There are only people that want to be sexualized and are sexualizing themselves, right?
What a cop out, man.
Nothing hypocritical about that.
Yeah, no, that's a better way to put it. No, you're right. Yeah, that's a better way to
even though the person was sexualized against their consent, right? They were still allowed, without being a hypocrite, to promote a platform with sexual content of sexualized people. If these people on there want to sexualize themselves, it doesn't make them a hypocrite whatsoever. It's not a hypocrite at all.
No, it definitely is.
Oh wow!
Because they're still pushing they're still. Okay, hold on. Wait, say that again. I think I heard you wrong. Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm saying somebody who is sexualized against their consent can still go on and promote a platform where creators are sexualized because the creators sexualize themselves with consent. That does not make this person a hypocrite for promoting that platform.
So it
go on.
Does because it's hold on, let me do one of your analogies. So it's like me getting slapped in the knee, right? I'm like, oh, I don't like that because you're doing it, but I want this person to slap me in the knee. So it's
okay,
like, how are you going to push against sexualization of a woman when you're you're going to say, I understand the consent thing. Yes, that's wrong. That is 100%.
Okay, the point is that these women have come out and said they don't like the fact that the closer and closer bond of like sexualized content and Twitch, they don't like that, and it's negatively impacting them because they're expected to perform in a more sexualized manner. And that's exactly what qtcinderella has done in bringing a closer and closer bond by letting Fansly sponsor the streamer awards, right? That in and of itself is bad. And then on top of that, they've got like a Twitch add-on thing where from your Twitch account, you can go through to the Fansly page and be looking at pornographic content within a few clicks. That is the fundamental issue at the heart of all of this. That is the problem, right? So you just need to explain it in those terms, and that should be sufficient. These analogies aren't necessary. It's really simple to lay out why this is wrong and why this is a problem.
Don't think I'm like saying it, but I can see where Chloe is coming from, saying it's hypocritical.
I will simplify for you, okay? This is Joe Rogan.
Oh, I got it. Hold on, I gotta go. Okay, now I see.
Okay, this is Joe Rogan.
Okay, I don't know what this is.
This is Joe Rogan. Okay.
No age check.
And Fansly doesn't have a lot of safeguards. That's another thing.
Yes,
open.
Bro,
he's saying it.
Pulls up,
yes,
okay, and he punches Jordan in the fucking face. Right, out the street. Right, comes up and he punches Jordan right in his fucking jowl. Bing. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? I'm gonna sue this fucking motherfucker." Right. So then,
this is stupid. This is pointless. This is pointless.
And then Joe goes on next day after this lawsuit, and he goes on and promotes UFC, where people punch each other, right, with consent. Is Joe a hypocrite or not?
I don't think it's the same at all.
How is that the same? So in this instance, Cutie, was sexualized against her consent, and then there's a lawsuit, and then she promoted a website where people, creators, sexualize themselves with consent. It is a one-to-one analogy. How does that make her a hypocrite? How?
I don't. Yeah, this is dumb. I don't know why.
You sort of lost me.
Okay. So the argument is fantastic.
The problem is you're move it to a talk about hitting. You're removing it so far from the context of what we're talking about. It makes it nonsensical. You've got to try and keep it with it. You don't even need analogies. You don't need analogies. It's really simple. You can just lay out what's happened, and that's adequate. The analogies, especially when we're pivoting off to weird violence things, are just stupid and pointless. I don't know why we're here. Why are we here?
Okay. So listen. I'll go to Fansly, okay. So. Here's the equivalency. It's an equivalency because it's almost the same thing, right? So basically, Joe Rogan is physically assaulted, right? Okay. Which is a crime, against his consent on the street. Then he sues the person. There's a lawsuit, right? And then, next day, he goes on and promotes UFC, which is a platform where people assault each other, right? You agree with that?
Okay. I think the more issue was that she was normalizing it, pushing that.
No, wait. But they agree, they consent to punching and being punched. That is black on white. It's a sport, doesn't matter. That is completely irrelevant. They still consent to being punched. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So then, Judy was sexualized against her consent, right? Then I believe they sued.
No, it's not about that. Oh my god.
Then they promoted OnlyFans or Fansly, where people sexualize themselves, but with consent. It's a one-on-one.
He's going to the easy argument and not this guy. I don't think at any point is talking even about the deepfake stuff necessarily. He's making a much simpler point, but XQC keeps going back to the fucking deepfake shit because that's the easy place to argue from. Because yeah, obviously, just because someone doesn't sexualize themselves, doesn't mean that you can't ever promote a sexualized platform. But that's not the issue. That's not the problem. That's not what we're arguing about at this point.
Argument. Is
oh my god, is a Mott and Bailey, yeah.
Is he a hypocrite?
Give me 1 sec.
But I don't think that contributes to the original point with what Chat was saying. It's because she had such a problem with these females being sexualized, but she was still supporting a platform that sexualizes women. I understand what you mean by, but they're consenting to being sexualized.
The platform does not sexualize them. They sexualize themselves. The platform makes content behind paywall. That's all it does. Fansly?
Even the Fansly advert sexualized the women because the advert had pictures of all the most sexualized people on there. There was, I think one of them was even like an actual porn star or something, or like does a lot of explicitly pornographic content.
Fansly, okay.
And children can't take part of the MMA. That's another big thing that was it. It was children. You have to remember we're talking about like
children can punch. And when I was young with my friends, we had a UFC ring in my friend's basement. He was rich, he had a big business, and we had our own UFC ring. We would punch it like crazy. Yep.
This is fake story number 300.
It is true. It is true. It is true. And we got
who won?
I would always lose, but I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
But
I understand.
Okay. So, Fansly is a place. I had to promote it. Okay, first of all, Fansly, whatever. I don't give a fuck about Fansly. All they do is they paywall content. Sexual, sometimes. Non-sexual, also. But it's a paywall, right? Saying that they sexualize people is completely disingenuous.
Okay, but it's used mainly for sexualizing material.
The people sexualize themselves on it, and
yes,
people
but they're giving those people a platform.
Okay, that will always be the platform. That the market for sex work is gigantic. The amount of views that the shit gets on porn almost is colossal. The biggest part of the internet in terms of content is porn. Regardless, it is not. Yeah. It's not fucking. It's not XYZ. On the internet, the biggest one topic thing is porn.
Yeah, so you're right there, right? You were right there. But what Chat was saying was, them promoting it. Them promoting this is gonna result in more streamers being sexualized without consent because it's opening more these children to more brand rise this.
Ooh, that is okay. Now you're doing an argument. It's like victim blaming a little bit. I think it's a bit of a reach. Yeah.
Victim blaming. What the fuck?
But on the first thing. So all behind that, I don't think it should. Regardless, if she felt uncomfortable with it, she's 100% right. Because you have to take her feelings.
So you're saying that. So you're saying that like, this argument saying that promoting safe sex is the same as promoting just sex overall. And you're contributing to the problem of unsafe sex because you promote safe sex.
What?
What are you saying? Another equivalent analogy then. So you're saying is that if you promote safe sex, you also by default promote unsafe sex as a collateral.
What are these sex?
I don't understand these lines of thinking at all.
Right.
Does anyone get it? I'm
very. Porn ruins people's lives. Like that's a serious issue.
It's a little bit of a how do you call this? It's I don't know how to explain this. It's like one of these things where like.
Is there anything else I need to watch in this? I mean, I don't really have to skip it. I just I'm losing brain cells. I'm losing brain cells as we speak. But the thing is, if it's about the deepfake thing, I don't think this guy at any point is trying to argue that deepfakes are okay. I don't think this is the point. Is that we're reverting back to the easy position because the actual position is harder to contend with.
You're right about nothing.
We'll watch it. It's fine.
It's kind of like okay, right? Because why not? It is true. You're right about nothing. Like what are you right about? Is that you're saying that by promoting consensual sexualization, you're promoting non-consensual sexualization. I don't know how that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense. It's kind of like okay, I guess. I mean, I guess you're right. We're not.
Well, I don't know anymore.
I mean, I'm lost. So what you're saying is that yes. Stop misconstruing what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm talking about. What you're saying is that by promoting consensual sexualization, you are also promoting non-consensual sexualization.
No.
That's what you're saying.
No. But you're not helping the non-consensual part.
Yes,
now you're just.
They sued them.
What's this person? Why are you posting the same? Why are you spamming my chat? You're such a hypocrite. Why don't you say the same about Trainwreck's gambling? So I think I've said that like the Trainwreck's gambling message, the sort of thing he says where he goes, gambling's bad. I don't even think that's adequate or sufficient to like stop people from gambling. And I've criticized that before. I absolutely have criticized that aspect of it. But the thing is, the reason I think that it's different and I wouldn't criticize Trainwreck's along the same lines is Trainwreck's is very open, upfront and honest. Right? He's not out here a year ago saying gambling's bad, guys. Gambling's really bad, right? You should, he's not saying that gambling sponsorships are terrible and you shouldn't do gambling sponsorships. And then he's taken a gambling sponsorship, right? That's the difference. That's the point of difference, right? So Trainwreck's is far more honest and upfront and consistent in his principles that he states and that he engages in versus these streamers who a couple of years ago were saying how bad it was of this further integration of sexualized content into Twitch, only a couple of years later to take a Fansly sponsorship that further integrates sexualized content into Twitch, and the same people that are making arguments against it are not calling them out because it's not beneficial to do so. That is the difference. That is the big difference between those two things. So
have a whole new can of women being objectified now.
They sued them. They took them down. The people that are doing the company that was doing non-consensual shit, they got sued. They got taken down.
Yeah, they could have sued them before all of this, before the whole HR thing.
Well, there's a spike of interest because of the whole saga. So then they did go after them, right?
Also, by the way, just to be clear as well, you asking me to call out Trainwrecks is literal whataboutism. Okay, it's literal whataboutism because we're talking about this. And you're desperately trying to fucking pivot away from it because you don't want to engage with the fact that there's a lot of fucking issues and hypocrisy with this because you want to defend. Thank you, by the way, for laying it all on the line. Thank you for laying it all on the line and defending massive streamers. I appreciate it, okay?
Okay. Yeah. I guess you could say that she's not a hypocrite with it, but she...
Oh my god, look at this! You guys are legendary for digging this up. Look at this. Look at this, she's saying it. Well, she said it then deleted it. Look at this. Oh, caught red-handed. Caught red-handed. Look at this. April 1st in 2 days. Reminder to all creators, posting a fake OnlyFans and implying that you do sex work now as a joke is not a good April Fool's joke. It's cheap and offensive. Instead, maybe saran wrap a toilet or put a fake spider somewhere or hire a clown. Not when you're selling it to a non-18 plus viewer base on a huge live stream with tons of creators try again. The show wouldn't have existed without their sponsor, plain and simple. Here's QT telling it how it is. My principles are meaningless. I need the money to run the show. That is unreal. There she is telling it like it is, hey? You might be thinking, well, good on her for being honest. You might be thinking good on her for being honest and being upfront about it. But guess what? She deleted the tweet. She deleted the tweet. She deleted the tweet. She deleted the tweet. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, and then the block. And then the block. And then the block. And then the block. That is a fucking banger tweet. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. God, these people are despicable. I hope people start to wake up to it and start to see these people are gross. Jesus, man. There's the tweet if you want it. At least we got some, it may have been deleted. It may have been deleted, but at least we got some truth out of this. At least we got some truth out of this situation.
Still contributing. That part is where she's still contributing to the objectification and sexualization of women, especially the children. Because you got to remember, this is all coming back. So the reason chat had a problem was because these are children.
Next year, Streamer Awards, sponsored by Steak. Sponsored by Steak. I'm telling you now.
That on her
hey, thank you for the bits.
Was saying adult content to children.
So at that point, you are.
Listen, look. There's another 10 minutes of this, and then I've got one final thing to show you that I found quite funny.
This is like an anti-sex work pretty much take then, right? You just don't like.
No. I could care less. I'm defending chat. I can see where chat's coming from. See, you're not a real centrist. I'm a real centrist. So I can look at both sides and get I can see both sides and understand each one.
Okay, so you're pushing.
That's a low-hanging fruit.
You're pushing disingenuous arguments that you don't understand what the root. So whenever you get something to debate with, I want to know your argument, but where does it come from? What's behind it? If every time that we will go to the nature of the argument, you say, well, it's chats. I don't know.
Also, hang on a second. Why is LSF doing a takeover? Hang on a minute. Wait. Why is LSF doing a big takeover of Dr. Disrespect? What's going on there? I know it's supposed to be for April 1st. Interesting. Well, my next point is going to only add to that schizo conspiracy.
I don't know why. This is their argument, right? Then we can't get to fixing it or finding a solution because we cannot find the root nature of the argument. It doesn't make sense. It's not how you debate anybody. It's not how you have a discussion.
Okay, yeah, well, what chat was saying...
I think you're on some schizo shit, but it's fun to think about, yeah. Just to be clear, if I say something schizo... If I say something is schizo, okay, what I'm saying to you is take it with a pinch of salt. You know, I'm so bored. I'm so bored of the prefacing and the fucking bullshit and you can only ever state... Like, as long as you say, look, this is a bit schizo, I think it's cool to say it without doing the endless fucking prefacing, okay? I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm clearly saying, like, this isn't, like, necessarily something I'm stating as actual truth. It's like a schizo conspiracy thing.
Was that they believe it's hypocritical because even though it is for their consent, it's still sexualizing and objectifying women. To children.
No way. You've got to be shitting me. There's no way. How could someone be this inconsistent? So we got a joke here about setting an OnlyFans up. It is 3 years ago, but you know, I mean, listen, I might accept that if it was like 5 or 10 years ago, but 3 years ago is pretty recent. Did you know Fansly is not only for consuming, but also creating? I wish one of these hot ladies had a Fansly. Sign up today and start creating. Hang on a sec. I thought the only reason for the Fansly sponsorship was because the Streamer Awards couldn't have happened without it. But this looks like a whole other sponsorship deal or marketing deal with Fansly. September 8th, 2022. Looks like it's okay to take the money when it benefits you. Exactly like I said. Anyway, listen, I don't want to get too sidetracked, okay? I do actually want to try and move on from this segment.
That was their main problem. That was the main issue. I think no one can win here. No one can win here.
Yeah. So this comes to the fact that they just don't like... See, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say how it is. Okay? I will sound like some blue-haired virtue signaler, okay? I think people like to consume and juice up from sexualized content and also make them feel bad for doing it because they gain from it. They want to like diminish them for gaining money from it and having that as a plus, but they also consume at the same time, which I think that is hypocritical.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
That is it. That is it. So the reality, guys, I wish you guys understood it. Okay, this whole thing is that it's coming down to a fact whether you agree with it or not. That fans, only fans are a thing. The problem themselves. The problem should be advertised and promoted on Twitch. Well, then if it's not advertised on Twitch, then it should be advertised anywhere.
That's a different argument too, because now you're going on Twitch TOS, and that's not the original argument.
No. Well, I do agree with you though. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be promoted anywhere. But that's what the landscape is.
Anyway, listen. There's only like another 10 minutes. I think we've seen enough of this, and you know, I don't think we need to watch every second. I think we've seen enough, haven't we? I just want to make something clear before we move on to the final point I want to make. So XQC, I said this earlier, but I'll just make it clear again. XQC has made it clear that, you know, he is walking back on his position, which is good, by the way. I'm not saying that as a criticism. He's saying, I'm going to keep it a stack. After looking at some data and shit, looks like my take was shit about the Fansly thing. It's not used like Patreon at all. It's just an alt account for OnlyFans. What the fuck? So, you know, you gotta respect the correction of his position, I've got to say. That's good. And then he also said the following. Bro, Juiced recorded and posted normal shit. It's why I thought it was mostly just paywalled normal content. Yeah, I don't know what data he's talking about. Like I say, I think XQC is stuck between a rock and a hard place. We've got that clip from earlier. That's not really that conclusive, but maybe points that he had some inkling. But yeah, I think that, in fairness, it probably is just that he finds it difficult to be critical of his friends, despite knowing they do some very hypocritical, fucked up shit. But yeah. Okay, so there's one more piece of the puzzle here that I want to show you that I found quite interesting myself, okay? Here's a clip of a big streamer, Asmongold, very influential big streamer, criticizing this, which, you know, may be surprising to you to see, but let's have a look.
On top of that, sign in using your Twitch account and see which of your favorite streamers are already creating adult content on Fansly.
After a Mario Kart ad for kids, not a single word is spoken.
I think that she's right about this. I think that both of them are advertising pornography and explicit content for kids. I think that she is right.
Based.
I think that there is a spectrum, and showing the porn directly is worse. But you cannot tell me that advertising Fansly and then giving examples of streamers that produce explicit content on Fansly. I know that they produce explicit content on Fansly. They are the ones that are up on the screen. How are you not going to... How are you not going to say that's not promoting it?
Okay. Very base take from Asmongold. Okay? Very base take from Asmongold. Who's seen this clip? It's got quite a lot of views. It's got quite a lot of views, hasn't it? Now, here's the final thing I want to show you. This clip was posted to LSF. It got 600 upvotes. But then, sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of Livestream Fails. Look at this little freak in chat trying to defend this. It was taken down because the title says he was calling out QT. The clip was calling out Critical. Yeah, of course. Every single post that's got an inaccurate title gets removed, doesn't it? Every single one. Nah, you're fucking coping. You're fucking coping super hard. Very convenient that they found a reason to remove this one. I'm sure it got posted again, right? Someone must have a link to it being posted again, surely. Surely there must be a... If that's the reason, I'm sure someone corrected it and put it up again, right? It must be there somewhere. Have you got the link for that? Have you got the link to the repost with the correct title? Listen, you can make me look really stupid right now. I'll have to eat my hat. If you can post a link to it being posted again with the correct title, I'll look really stupid. You can fucking own me right now. Easy peasy. Own me right now. That's simple. Come on. Own me. It's easy. It's so easy. You can own me so easily by posting a link. I'll look really stupid. Honestly, at this point, what more can you say? What more can you say? You're fucking delusional if you don't see how LSF moderates in a way that's favorable towards the big streamers and the Twitch aristocracy. You're fucking delusional. They absolutely do. I remember when I was covering the Bruce Dropomoff stuff and I was critical of Bruce Dropomoff being racist, someone who had very public beef with Mizkif, there weren't so many comments being critical of me then. It was all, oh, Bruce Dropomoff's really bad, isn't he? But when a clip gets posted of me criticizing one of the Twitch aristocracy types, it's very different, the response to me. Let's put it that way. Like, clearly the mentality over there is if you're criticizing the right people, you're fucking golden, good to go, clear for takeoff. But if you're criticizing the wrong people, you're a drama farmer, loser, whatever fucking other shit they call me. Like, it's very obvious what the dynamic and what the culture is over there. The entire, you know, this is like a replication of, you know, traditional media structures. Is if you are criticizing the wrong people, then you're a bad person. Both are true of you. True. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, when it comes to like XQC, it just feels like he's kind of, like I say, finds it hard to criticize his friends, but knows some of this shit is fucked.